Hello and welcome to Daily Records. I am Tommy Burton, and today's Daily Record is continuing with the Paul McCartney reissues that came out this past week. And this is a really interesting album. This is one that a lot of McCartney fans have been waiting for on vinyl for quite a while. This is Thrillington. This was initially not released as a Paul McCartney album. It's credited to Percy Thrillington, or more specifically, Percy Thrills Thrillington. It's even got on the back cover here a biography of Percy. He was born in Coventry Cathedral in 1939. His travels took him to Baton Rouge, USA, that's Louisiana, where he studied music for 5 years on the trot. Moving later to Los Angeles, he gained expertise in the marketing, conducting, and arranging fields. Eventually, the path led to London, where his long ambition to form his own orchestra was finally realized. On this record, Percy takes the themes from Paul McCartney's Ram, and with the help of some of London's best musicians, forges them into orchestral versions that bear the unmistakable imprint, the mark of Thrillington. Well, this is, as the album says, orchestral renditions of Paul and Linda McCartney's album Ram, which has gone on to become a beloved McCartney album. This was released April 29th, 1977 in the UK. A little while later in the United States, May 17th, 1977. And it was produced by Paul McCartney under the pseudonym of Percy Thrills Thrillington. Now, those of you that are familiar with the album Ram, you know these songs. So it doesn't really, and I'll show you guys the inner sleeve here. And so these are just sort of, and it's got a purple capital label on it, probably as the original one did. And what's also cool, these albums do have, and I didn't say yesterday, they have download cards. But this one is really funny because on the other side, it has a business card for Percy Thrillington. And so it was one of the first albums to come out under a pseudonym for McCartney. The arranger on this was Richard Anthony Hewson. He was asked to work on this orchestration before Ram had even been released. And so it goes back to around the time Ram was released. So in preparation, McCartney invented this socialite. His name was Percy Thrillington, and he even took ads out in the UK music papers, and he said that, it kind of talked about where Thrillington was coming and going, and he was just sort of generating a little bit of curiosity. And so finally, when the album finally was released in 1977, McCartney's name was included, and the only real clue is on the back cover here. You see Thrillington here, and there's McCartney's reflection in the glass in the studio. And so it was sort of just ignored. Nobody really paid attention. No one really cared. And so a lot of people kind of thought that it was McCartney working under a pseudonym, so it quickly became a collector's item. And finally, he admitted to that he was Thrillington. Finally, in late 1989, when he was on his tour, and he said someone asked him about it. A journalist asked him, and Paul said, "What a great question in the conference. The world needs to know. But seriously, it was me and Linda, and we kept it a secret. But now the world knows. You blew it." But I think that he knew that he kind of gave it away. He also admitted later on that he was also Clint Harrigan, who wrote the liner notes for Thrillington, as well as the liner notes to Wildlife, the Wings album. And so it was funny because John Lennon actually gave that one away about Clint Harrigan. He stated during this letter with McCartney back in 1972. So this was a pseudonym that went back. But it finally was revealed, the whole story, and the musicians that worked on it, Richard Hewson, some of the other musicians that worked on the album, like Herbie Flowers and the Mike Sam Singers. And so finally, everyone kind of knew what was going on with this. It's a pleasant listen. It's not essential. As far as that goes, it is more of a curio piece. It's not as adventuresome as, say, The Fireman or some of the other projects McCartney worked under a pseudonym. But it's really cool to have it on vinyl, and it's an album that that deserves listening to. And fans of McCartney are definitely going to want to hear this album and take a listen. Now, just a funny aside story, back when I was working at Camelot Music way back in the 90s with my friend Sean in New Orleans. Hi, Sean. We were really, we thought this was hilarious, this whole Thrillington thing. And I would sort of semi-seriously with the, I was a troll basically. People would come in the store and then I would just seriously look at them. Have you guys heard of that Thrillington? It's got a ram's head on the cover. And Sean thought it was the funniest thing because the guys were like really like, what is going on? Like it was a big secret. And so I knew that my little gossip had taken hold when someone came into the store and asked for Thrillington. I'm probably glad no one went out and bought a copy and then probably came back and beat me up because they were like, what is this? But it's instrumental versions of Ram. So if you like the Ram music, this is a nice companion piece. So Thrillington is today's Daily Record. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's TommyBurton75. I love interacting with you guys. In the meantime, I'll see you all again tomorrow with another Daily Record.